Pod Jerky, bringing you an audio experience the likes of which you've never heard before.
Pod Jerky.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Pod Jerky. I am your host, Direktor Awesome, joined once again by my lovely wife, Mrs. Awesome. Welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Today's episode, we're going to have a little bit of fun, and we're going to do a questionnaire. It's just a fun questionnaire.
I have no idea what's coming.
Yeah, you have no prior knowledge to the questions, but they're fun questions, so they're not anything that you have to be embarrassed about or you probably have to think a little bit, but it's okay. It's a fun questionnaire. So I guess we'll just
come up with this stuff.
I don't know. I kind of do some research online. I want to have a little bit of fun with some of the episodes that we do. And I guess this is kind of one of the ways that we can do that. So I think we'll just get right into it and see where it goes. All right. So the first question that we have is, if you had a boat, what would you name it?
Oh, my. The Mr. Beaumont.
The Mr. Beaumont. Why?
Because of Friends.
Oh, yes. That was
Joey's boat.
Joey's boat, yes.
Yeah.
Where Rachel had to teach him.
Mr. Beaumont.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually don't know what I would name my boat yet. I would have to think about that one.
That's the first thing that came to my head.
I honestly wouldn't have even remembered that.
You remember everything.
I do, but that wouldn't have been the first name that came to the top of my head.
Honestly, it's probably not what I would name it, but I feel like that's not a question you could answer on the fly. Like,
well, you did. You did.
I did. I also just think it would be funny.
Okay, so our next question, and your answer cannot be me.
Oh, no.
Who is the messiest person you know?
Messiest person?
Yes.
Messiest person. I don't know. That's tough. I don't know, honestly. That's a tough question.
You can say me.
It's not, though. It's not that you're messy. You just leave stuff everywhere. It's like it comes out of its home and then it sits somewhere for God only knows how long.
That's not a me thing.
That is a you thing.
That's a guy thing.
I don't care. I'm only married to you.
But it's still a guy thing.
Messiest person. I don't know. That's a tough one. Maybe my brother? But even then.
Well, you were brought up in not a messy house, so
oh gosh, no, I wasn't even allowed to leave like a pop can. Like the minute it was done, I had to throw it in the recycling bin.
So I can't see your brother being messy either.
Oh, but he was. Yeah, he was. Definitely more messy than me. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah, we don't have a messy house, so
we don't. No,
we're not allowed.
It's tidy. Other than the dining room right now, and that's just because it's not warm enough to put anything outside.
Yeah, because we were waiting for the snow to stop, and we're almost at the end of April. And yeah, we were still getting snow. So hopefully the weather's better and we can put everything outside and we're good to go.
So. It's raining today.
Yeah, that's okay though. This week is going to be nice, so we're pretty good.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. All right. So, what is the most useless talent that you have?
Oh, probably my noisemaker.
Right.
Yeah. Do I have to do a demonstration for everybody?
Yes. So the kids get a kick.
Talent.
The kids get a kick out of that. Not our kids. We don't have kids, but our nephews, our neighbors' kids, when they were small, they used to get a kick out of it. And the dogs kind of perk up when you do that.
That's my useless talent.
Yeah. It's a pretty good one. Yep.
We used to drive our teachers crazy in high school.
You have to
That
do what the one that we used to do in high school is the flight of the bumblebee. So you would like
What?
hum it. So the flight of the bumblebee, you would hum it, but I would start and I would start humming it, and the teacher would look over, and as soon as the teacher looked over to you, somebody on the
Somebody
other
else
side
would
of the
pick
class
up?
would pick up on it, and then the teacher would know where it was coming from. I mean, I know we didn't create that kind of prank, but
Yeah.
we used to pull it on our teacher, and the teacher would be going nuts, and then she finally
No
caught on.
kidding.
But she was a good teacher. She was an amazing teacher, so she always had
She
fun
was a
with
good
it.
sport.
Yeah, she had
Yeah.
fun with it.
She didn't call you little assholes like ours did.
Oh no, she did. She was one of the ones that she could have that kind of conversation with you, but she'd laugh about it and say like,
Yeah.
you're little pricks," and then
But-
like, yeah.
Ours was in elementary school, so that did not go over well.
No, that was high school.
Grade 5, the French teacher called us assholes.
Hey, you know what? I have no problem with adults calling kids that.
Yeah, but they're not supposed to call it to your face.
No, they're not supposed to, but I mean, I don't have a problem with it if you're being one,
Fair.
because
But in grade 5 at a Catholic school, it was not cool.
again, like
we were assholes.
I don't find asshole a bad word. I honestly don't find.
Things have definitely changed, but when we were in grade 5, what we would have been
But
11,
think about
12.
it. Like, there's a comedian named Lewis Black. I love him. He's funny. He's that
The guy
angry
with the
comedian.
finger?
Yeah, he's the comedian.
where you get it from?
Yeah, that's very funny. But he's angry all the time. Like, and that's his shtick. And he even said it. He's like, there's no such thing as bad words, because what do you go home? Like you go home, you've been working your whole life, you lose your job, you lose your pension, you lose everything. Now you're going to lose your house, can't pay the bills, can't find another job. What do these people go home and say? Oh, sassafras. Oh, fiddlesticks. No, he's just like, you say these words. They're not bad words. They're just words that we've been conditioned not to use in public.
Fair.
Yeah. All right. So where's the worst smelling place that you've been?
Oh, the beach in the summer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Our downtown, our beach. I don't know what it is. There's a sewage plant
There's
down there.
the water treatment plant's right there.
Yeah. But even.
And it's in like the most popular beach in Toronto.
Yeah.
And in the dead of summer with the humidity, it stinks. It's bad.
Yeah. I mean, I take our students out on walks sometimes in our neighborhood around the school, and we're not too far from the beach. And sometimes in the summertime, the smell is just so bad.
Rancid.
Yeah.
Well, I
so
lived
bad.
down there.
Yeah.
And thankfully I had a little window air conditioner, so I didn't need to open my windows. But I lived far. Like, I was at the other end of basically where the cliffs start. And
you can probably point to it on your background there.
it would have been that way. It's behind the trees, down a couple kilometers.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a pretty smelly place in the summertime.
Yeah.
If it was a really, really
Very
hot or humid
beautiful.
day. Yeah.
Very beautiful area, but whew, stinky.
Yeah.
That was
All
a
right.
really odd question, by the way.
Hey, I'm going on this questionnaire that I found online. So
Okay.
these are the questions that they
Smelliest
have. So
place you've ever been.
I think I know the answer to this next one.
Uh-oh.
But what celebrity would you rate as a perfect 10?
Oh, you already know the answer. Do I even need to say it?
Well, the other people don't know the answer.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, why?
I don't know. There's just something about that man.
See, we were going through our Netflix
Trying to find something to watch.
just trying to find something to watch, and you only want to watch this movie because
I do. No,
We don't-
okay. But honestly, the story looks good and it just helps that he's in it.
it looked okay. Like, it wasn't like top of my list. I want to watch this, but you
But
were
then
like,
I
I
feel
want
like
to
you're
watch
just torturing me because he's in it. So now you're like, we don't really need to watch it. It doesn't look good. You only want to watch it because Chris is in it. It helps.
It's true that you want to watch it because he's in
Yeah.
it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we'll watch that tonight.
Listen, there's very rarely that I would say I've ever had like a true celebrity crush because it's unrealistic, right? And yeah, I think, actors are good looking, or I don't know. I actually have like a serious crush on him. Like, I would fangirl hard, I think, if I ever met him.
Well, you hear that, Mr. Chris Evans?
Yeah.
we're gonna have to try and get you onto the show. I know there's a 0% chance of that ever happening, but I think I'm gonna even give it a shot just to see what you would do. Because my wife would fangirl, and I'm gonna force her to come on to the show to interview you if you were able to.
I will
to make it onto the show.
I will be. Hold on. About that. Can you even see it? About that red.
Yeah, probably. But I know there's a 0% chance.
Post-it note for those listening.
Don't anybody get excited. Chris Evans probably will not be coming on the show.
Listen, the if dude he does, can play piano. He has the cutest dog named Dodger. Like, I'm sorry, honey, but he's on my laminated card.
That's fine.
Yeah, okay.
That's fine. There's another Friends reference. You know, we're dating ourselves. We're old.
It's still relevant today.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know what that show is. There's a lot of people.
Well, then you need to go and catch yourself up.
I saw a post the other day online that said Kanye West had, and I never want to mention this guy's name, but Kanye West mentioned Paul McCartney in a song, and people started commenting and saying, "Wow, Paul McCartney's career is now going to blow up." I don't know who this Paul McCartney guy is, but man, did Kanye just put him on the
Didn't
map?
he do a song with Paul McCartney and Rihanna?
Maybe that was what it was.
I don't really listen to his music, so
and I was like, wow, these people, like, we are old. Like, these people do not even know who the Beatles are.
No, you need to tell the story about the kids at school, the music they were listening to.
Or what music? Oh, like in the weight room.
We're the oldies now.
Yeah, so we're in our 40s, but growing up, you used to listen to your parents' music and go, wow, this stuff is old. And that was like, the Beatles and
1050 Chum, Sunday morning golden oldies.
Right. And we were in the weight room doing weight training for our baseball season. And the kids said like, oh, can you put on Green Day? And I was like, what? And they were like, can you put on Billy Talent? And I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
And I was like, do you guys listen to this? And they're like, yeah, we like the oldies. The new stuff is no good. And I was like, wow, we're now considered the oldies generation.
You got to think their parents would be our age, maybe a little older. And that's all the music we grew up in,
right?
In the 90s. So,
but then it just slaps you in the face when you hear someone say it for the first time that our music's now considered the oldies. So when I'm blasting this music in my car on my drive home, I'm now listening to the oldies.
But listen, if we were to turn into 1050 Chum on Sunday mornings now,
would it be our music?
Would it be our music?
It might.
Or is it still like, Buddy Holly and the Temptations and things like that, like it was when we were growing up.
You can never forget that music. Like it's
not like fantastic. You can. Let's face it, our parents grew up in the best generation of music.
They did, yes,
they really did.
Yeah,
they lucked out. I don't think they realize how lucky they are.
No, for sure. All right, on to the next one. We got what's a body part that you wouldn't mind losing?
What?
If it had to be one.
A body part?
Yeah, if it had to be one body part.
That's a sick question.
Well, it's easy.
Why?
A toe. Like you're just looking at one body part, right?
Listen, you can't afford to lose a toe.
Why?
Because you have no balance now.
Well, that's different. That's me. But I'm just saying, like, a toe is like something that you could live without, or like you want your fingers, you want your your nose, your head, your arms, your hands, whatever, you want all that. If you had to lose one, what would it be?
Yes, I guess a toe. That's just a weird question.
Hey, again, it's not my questions. These are questions that are on this questionnaire list.
What site are you on?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
What is the dumbest way you've been injured? I think I know which one this is.
The dumbest way I've been injured? What do you think it is?
The horse.
Oh, when I got kicked in the face?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, so you can't see it because the guy did a good job, but I have a cut right here where I had to have 3 or 4 stitches put in because I fell off of a horse on a trail ride in a farm field. So it was a soft landing. I got my foot caught in the stirrup. The horse was trying to walk away and I was like, well, this is it. Like, this is how I die. So I rolled into the horse to try and get my foot out of the stirrup. and the horse jumped over me to get out of my way. And in the meantime, he kicked me in the face as he was going over. So that's one way. But then I was thinking about the time when I was a kid and we were standing on the fire hydrant. I slept.
And
there's a square little nubby on the top of the fire hydrant. And, it hurts when you fall on it with your crotch.
yes, I would imagine so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As a little kid, it still freaking hurt.
Okay, so this is going to be a tough question.
Uh-oh.
Because you have to think a little bit about it. But
All right.
which fictional character would be the most boring to meet in real life?
Fictional character.
So it can be like a cartoon character. It can be a character from a book that's made up. Any kind of character that's a fictional character that would be boring to meet in real life. Like I want to go with somebody like Shrek. Before he meets Donkey, before he meets Fiona, like was he just like a kind of a boring character? Now the guy who plays him is pretty cool, Michael Myers, who does the voice for him, but not Michael Myers, Mike Myers. The great Canadian Mike Myers.
Yeah.
But like somebody
not the
like
Chainsaw
that.
Massacre.
No, not the Chainsaw Massacre. But that would be, I think, the one character that would probably be boring pre-meeting Donkey and coming out of his kind of shell in that movie.
To me, I think I've only ever watched one of the movies, but like if you have fans of Lord of the Rings on here, I'm really sorry, but that fantasy thing, the fantasy genre is just not my thing. So I feel like anybody from those types of movies, I just would not, like the Hobbits or whatever, like none of that would be.
Or Gollum.
I don't know. I feel like he would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It was like the only creepy thing. He's the only thing I remember from the movie.
Yeah, I wasn't really a fan of those movies just because I'm not into that genre. Again, like you, we're not really into that genre. We're not into the Harry Potters.
We're probably the only people on the planet who have never watched Harry Potter.
Yeah, I'm not a.
I watched
United
Front.
Well, I watched the first Harry Potter, and it was decent, but it wasn't a movie that I was like, I got to see the next one. It wasn't.
We didn't read the books either, right?
No,
so I feel like to enjoy the movies, I think you would have had to have read the books.
Possibly, I don't know. I mean, my parents loved them. They love all the Harry Potter movies, but I'm not a fan of that or Lord of the Rings. It just
me either.
Just wasn't for me. Okay, so what is the best and worst purchases you've ever made?
Best and worst purchase?
Yeah.
Wow. I buy a lot of stuff. This is hard.
Well, best purchase would probably be what we're living in.
Yeah, our house, probably. Yeah. Worst purchase?
I know there's a lot to think about. A lot, right?
Yeah. Well, we've returned it every time we've written a contract, which was a pool.
Right.
Because we don't have a huge backyard, and every time we measure. So thankfully, we have a clause here in Ontario. I'm not sure if it's all of Canada, but I know in Ontario, you have a 10-day clause where you can renege on a contract without compromising your deposit. So thankfully, we've used that and a number of times when thinking about purchasing a pool, because we've returned it every single time.
Yeah, but now we have something.
I bought like stupid things like shoes or clothes that I'm like, why did I buy that? But
yeah, but I mean, now we have something.
Those purchases.
We have something that's actually in place of a pool in the backyard. We bought a hot tub, so that's in the backyard now. Takes up less room.
Our COVID holiday purchase.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, if you could change your name to anything, what would it be?
I don't think I would change my name.
Why not?
Consuela Banana Hammock? I don't know.
There you go.
It's all about friends today.
But it wouldn't be Banana Hammock because you had my last name, so you'd have to change your last name to Consuela Hartman.
I don't know. I could change my whole name. If I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
change
it,
your
I'm
whole
going
name.
all out.
All right.
I don't know that I would change it. My mom had 2 other names picked out for me. Thankfully, she didn't go with either one of them.
And those were?
Delaney or Murphy. I feel like people would have just barked at me. Get here, Murphy. Like it feels like a dog's name, not a. But Murphy Brown was really popular when we were little, and so I feel like that's where she got it from. But it would have been Delaney or Murphy were the 2. Thankfully, they went. They went with Amy.
I prefer Amy.
Me too.
Yeah. So I think we've already answered this question, but what is the craziest thing one of your teachers has ever done?
Oh, called us an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we came back to that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So has there ever been a time in life where you screwed something up bad, but no one ever found out that it was you?
Ooh. No. No.
Sure? You did a lot of thinking there.
No. So people found out about it. My parents didn't find out about it. But other people found out about it.
And what was the situation?
It might have been a minor break and enter.
I have a criminal wife.
Yeah. I never got charged. No, so I was in high school. I was dating a guy. He had gone away on vacation with his mom, and his best friend was like, oh, they left a key for me. We can go into the house and hang out, because their house was like kind of always the hangout house. So it turns out that was not the case. He had sold a really good story. Apparently they forgot to leave the key. And so one of the guys broke in through the basement window and came up and like unlocked the door. So we hung out there, but like we left it clean. We did the dishes that they had left before holidays. Like the house was probably cleaner when they came home than when they left. So obviously they knew somebody was in the house. Needless to say, his mom was not very happy with us. At one point, she did call the cops, and then when she figured out who it was that had done it, she let it go. But yeah, that was pretty bad.
All right.
Mom and Dad never found out about that one.
All right. So this is going to be the last question.
Okay.
What problem or situation did TV or movies make you think would be common, but when you grew up, you found out it wasn't? And I think I have a quick answer to that one. So what problem or situation did TV or movies make you think would be common, but when you grew up, you found out it wasn't?
That's hard. You have a quick answer? My
answer, I think, would be quicksand. So in TV and movies, you would see, quicksand. People fall into it, they get buried, they suffocate, they die, or whatever it is, where you don't see that. And I don't believe quicksand is actually real. I think the quicksand does exist.
Was this in the conspiracy book I bought you?
No, I've read this multiple times, but the quicksand actually, you would only sink like up to your ankles. Like you wouldn't suck you all the way down unless you found like one of those giant sinkholes or whatever it is. But there's no real quicksand that you would actually see happen in a movie or television show the way they portray it.
That's a good question. That was a very quick response, but I don't have one.
There's probably a ton of them out there that,
I feel
when
like
you
this
see
needs
in
some
movies,
like Google research.
Well, how many times do we sit there in movies and television and go, man, that's total bullshit. Like that would never happen.
Yeah. Anything that happens in 2012.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but if a boat smashes into the face of Mount Everest and survives, that's just never going to happen.
No.
I'm pretty sure the mountain wins.
Yeah. Like even like we watched a movie called Kate last night. I didn't mind it. It was just a don't have to think about it kind of action movie.
And, if you like blood and guts and bullets and knives, and sure, go for it.
Yeah, but I mean, in a lot of the movies, what is so unreal is the idiot circle. There's always the one person, and they attack you one at a time. Like that would never happen. Like if you were in a fight with
10 of them and one of you in the middle.
Yeah, you can beat all of them. Yeah, but I know it's for entertainment value and like the purpose of entertaining people, but at the same time, it's such an idiot circle where you attack at one at a time, and the one person ends up winning, or the bullets that they shoot, like from point blank range miss, or you could like run out of the way of the bullets. Like that never happens. That'll never happen. Somebody fires that bullet, you may get lucky once, you're not getting lucky twice. Like you're not dodging bullets the way they do in the movies, right? So so I think that's another one.
Most movies probably have that. Like any action movie has that borderline, this could never actually happen in real life, like The Rock and Skyscraper. I'm sorry. Nobody at 200 feet in the air is crawling across a crane, jumping on it, and then sticking to a side of a building and surviving this.
Right.
Like, no one.
And again, entertainment purposes, we understand. We're not stupid, but it's just, that's where they stretch the truth a little bit. And
that's a good point.
It's not.
I was thinking more like, maybe it's just because I was watching a Hallmark stupid romance movie before we came up to do this, but like part of me had those reality kind of situations come in where like, oh, you find the guy and then he goes away and then, you have this revelation and then, you come back to it. Like that shit doesn't happen.
No.
If anybody has a Hallmark movie romance, I want to hear about it.
Well, the movie, you have to suspend your disbeliefs with the movies, right? Like nothing, a lot of it is not real. A lot of it's just made up stuff, but the fight scenes, it's entertaining, it's choreographed, it's, whatever it is, but it just doesn't make sense to some of those movies. I will sit there on the couch a lot of the times when we're watching and go, oh, come on. Like that, like that never happens.
Yeah. San Andreas, where they like drive up the tsunami wave and survive it. Meanwhile, a giant cargo ship comes flying over their head, and the only thing it does is knock the roof off the boat. Yeah. Like, come on.
And every other boat didn't make it, just theirs.
No, just theirs.
Yeah. All right. So that was just a little fun questionnaire. Just had a little bit of fun with it. See what kind of answers we can get out of that. So do you have anything else that you want to add to this?
No, but these were really weird questions.
Some of them were weird. But I mean, this was just a fun way just to do a fun episode and have some questions answered. And
I feel like I need to do this back to you. I always seem to be.
Hey, you know what? We can actually do that in one episode where you actually get to be the host and I have to answer the questions.
Ooh, fun. Okay.
Yeah. So we can do that as well. So we're going to end this episode here. Thank you for tuning in. I am Direktor Awesome, of course, joined always by my lovely wife, Mrs. Awesome. You can find Pod Jerky on Instagram and Twitter at Pod Jerky. You can also find all of our links on Linktree. That's linktr.ee/Pod Jerky. As always, stay safe, be kind to each other, and we will see you later.
Here we go now. Pod Jerky.